I may never be taken seriously, and I may never be seen as the artist that I've aspired to be, and that's okay. Hey my trash stars, it's me, Penny Angel, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about perception. I want to discuss being perceived and how the way others perceive us is none of our business. This video is going to explain why and how I've been dealing with the public's perception of me and the way I see myself and the way others see me. I was talking to a close friend this week about how I am perceived online. Recently, I've asked you guys, my trash stars, what is my niche? How do you guys see me? Why do you follow my channel? Why do you watch me? And I actually was pretty surprised by the responses that I gotten from you guys. The niche that you guys see me is fashion, which is mind-blowing to me because I don't see myself as a fashionista. My style is actually pretty basic. I mean, I dress up when I go out to dinner with my girlfriend, but my style is very chill. Oversized shirt, as you see. I love wearing my crosses. Of course, always in my glam, in my hair and my makeup, but I love wearing Converse, so I just found that you guys see me as a fashionista in any way. It's pretty cool. And some of the other responses I received was, you guys follow me and you like me for my rants and hearing me speak about current topics, commentary, pop culture, or just ranting about things that's pissing me off. People like my girl next door, around the way vibe. That's something I didn't know that I was giving off. And that's why I'm making this video, is the public's perception of you and the perception that people have of you from your coworkers, your peers, your friends, and your family. Sometimes it doesn't align with who you are and what the energy that you feel you're giving off. I want to discuss the way I feel I am perceived, the way I think I am, and maybe it doesn't translate to others, and that's fine. This isn't like me saying, you have to see me this way. It's just more of a study. I just find it really interesting. Of course, I would love to be known as an artist, a poet, a writer, a poet, an artist, a creative. That is how I see myself. And I see myself that way because I live with myself. I know myself. I'm with myself 24/7, just like you are. You live with yourself 24/7. And ultimately, how I see myself and how you see yourself is all that matters. The way other people perceive you is no one else's business but theirs. Now, if you have been following me on social media or even on this channel for even a few months or years, you guys know I have many different moods and vibes. The videos on here that have blown up the most are a part of my trashy Y2K aesthetic. I'm not super Mick Bling at this moment. There's elements that I still love. Of course, I will always love Pamela Anderson. She's like my childhood fave. That is not my current style now, but that is how a lot of people to this day will always perceive me, as Mick Bling, trashy bimbo Penny. That is what people will always see. Even if I were to change my hair dark, I got a comment on TikTok the other day, a post about my hair, my obvious hair change. And they were like, oh my God, I've noticed so many of the Mick Bling girls are going to like darker alternative aesthetics. And that was really shocking to me. One, that people still consider my style Mick Bling. And two, that people consider my style alternative. I haven't done trashy Y2K Mick Bling since like March. From March, and especially in the summer, my whole look and aesthetic was very like vintage Americana, very Born to Die, Lana Del Rey, very Americana. And it's interesting how people still perceived me as what they've known me for and how they've met me. And that goes to show you that first impressions really matter, and first impressions is just how people will always see you. We cannot control how the public sees us. There's nothing we can do to control that narrative. Of course, when you're rich and famous, you have PR teams and public relations and marketing teams that are there for the sole purpose to have the public and consumers perceive you in a certain way. There are teams that can make someone like myself wrap me up into a bow and they can make me seem like Martha Stewart by how they can meticulously place things together, style me in this way, and have me do certain things to make people perceive me as, like, let's say a Martha Stewart homemaker goddess, when that clearly isn't the case in real life. And what happens is that when you meet these people online, in real life, from celebrities to influencers to content creators, we have these preconceived notions about who they are because of what we see online. Social media has given us a small lens into the lives of strangers, which is very unnatural. And that small lens doesn't always capture the big picture. Because of apps like TikTok, our attention span as a society has weakened and it's shortened. Consumers and viewers will know your whole story by looking at the first 5 posts on your social media, and from there deciding who you are, what you are, and your whole life. Like, that is what happens, and that is often what we all do. We'll look at someone's profile, look at the first few posts. If a person's always talking about fitness, okay, that's a fitness person, that's a gym rat, that's a gym bro. That doesn't mean that's necessarily the truth, you know? We just look at what we immediately find, again, because our attention spans are shortened. Mine as well. I am not excluded from the shortened attention span because of social media. It's something that I'm navigating myself, and as you guys know, I'm not super active all the time on apps such as TikTok and Instagram because I'm trying to work on that myself and to disconnect and to engage with things that are more real life focused. And I consider YouTube more real life than Instagram or TikTok, where you can add filters to your face and it's more curated. Obviously, we all know that by now. On social media, people will compute all these little glimpses that they see of your life. They'll add them up and they will tell you that's who you are. And just from these quick little glances, and they will say that's what that person is about from a curated feed. Social media is curated. All of our feeds are curated. We are posting certain things to come off a certain way. Even people that are trying to come off cool and laid back and do photo dumps and like they're just so nonchalant about the whole thing, that is very curated as well. You are doing a curation of what you feel is someone that doesn't care, is someone that's carefree, doesn't take social media seriously. That is still curating something. You're curating a vibe, you know? The problem with this is that humans are multifaceted. We are composed of many things. We have many different interests and likes and hobbies, things that make us who we are, things that make us us. I am not only just a poet or a bimbo. I am someone that people find funny. I find myself pretty funny. I think I'm funny. I'm a writer. I love beauty and hair and makeup. I love reading. I love baking. That's a side of me that social media doesn't really know because I don't post like a baking channel or a baking Instagram or TikTok account. I don't really post the food that I cook because no one's following me to look at my food or my baked goods. I mean, maybe some of the baked goods people want to see. That's not why people are following me. The perception people have of you isn't out of the blue, however. It's not completely random. It is parts of you, but it's not all of you. Who I am online is who I am in real life, but it's not all that I am. It's not that way for anyone. For instance, as someone that's in the public eye, granted on a very small scale, most people that are in the public eye are going to show the particular parts of their personality that is more palatable, something that is more digestible for the masses. And you want to know why? The hard truth is the masses do not want to think. Well, at least they don't want to think too hard. For example, are more people likely to watch me doing a poetry video, me reading poetry from my journal, or are they going to be more interested in watching me talk about my hair and my makeup or my fashion? What is the masses most likely going to watch? What is going to catch the eyes even of brands or ads, people that place ads in your videos? Like, what type of video is going to appeal to more people to click it? A video where I'm reading my poetry or a video where I'm talking about the latest celebrity gossip. It's the sad truth, but it's the truth. Are people more likely to watch me go to Rodeo Drive and post a $5,000 haul at Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and Dior? Or are people more likely to watch me discuss philosophy? Like, let's be completely honest with ourselves here. They're gonna watch the $5,000 haul. And to be honest, I'm gonna wanna watch the $5,000 haul. Like, it's just what it is. The sky is blue. Because at the end of the day, the masses want something that's easily digestible, something that's nice on the stomach, something that coats the throat nice and smooth, like a shot of whiskey, a shot of high-end top shelf whiskey. As I said before, I'm not above this myself. When I'm eating lunch and I want to watch a YouTube video real quick, I'm watching vlogs or videos of girls talking about their new hair or wig reviews, or that's what I'm watching. For the most part, I'm not watching the deepest thing, because often, even when it comes to YouTube and social media, we're doing these things while something else is going on in our lives. We have a video on, we're watching reality TV while we're editing YouTube or doing our homework. It's so ingrained in our lives with social media, we use it as a background noise. And for background noise, you want something that is easily digestible. To be real, you don't have to think too much. Content creators and artists and musicians often showcase a very digestible part of their personality that's not all of their personality to hook you in. Famously, I remember, I believe it was the Dolly Parton and Diane Sawyer interview, and Diane asked her something of the like, not by verbatim, but basically she asked, you have the long nails, the big hair, the makeup, the sparkly outfits. Do you think that takes away from who you are as a singer, people not taking you seriously? Dolly replied with a beautiful smile, her big beautiful smile, and she said, I knew the hair, the makeup, the nails, that'll get people hooked in. They'll be curious, like, who is that girl? Who is that? And then once they sat down in the seats and they bought a ticket or they bought a record and they listened to what she was saying, they would later find out just how real she is.
You don't have to look like this. You're very beautiful. You don't have to wear the blonde wigs. You don't have to wear the extreme clothes, right?
No, it's certainly a choice. I don't like to be like everybody else. I've often made this statement that I would never stoop so low as to be fashionable. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. So I just decided that I would do something that would at least get the attention. Once they got past the shock of the ridiculous way I looked and all that, then they would see there was a parts of me to be appreciated. I'm very real where it counts, and that's inside, and as far as my outlook on life and the way I care about people and the way I care about myself and the things that I care about. But I just chose to do this, and it's show business is a money-making joke, and I've just always liked telling jokes.
And I feel a lot of artists do that. A lot. You have to hook people in. I can always bring it back to my queen, Lana Del Rey, how she hooked the masses in by transforming into Lana Del Rey from Lizzie Grant. Again, it's easier to digest. A beautiful woman with like this glamour, Born to Die era hair and makeup and nails. Even though the writing and the poetry has always been there, the masses are going to see just this beautiful image and they're going to decide, oh, she's old Hollywood, she's this, she's that. And look at the trajectory of her career. Now with Ocean Boulevard, she's able to show people and showcase her amazing writing ability, her amazing songwriting skills, you know? She hooked those people in. Look at Pitchfork. They didn't understand her at first. They gave Born to Die, what, a 5.5, a 5.6? Pitch flop, by the way. Like, don't get me started on them. And now they later revised it and they were like, hey, we made a mistake. This album was before its time. Was it really before its time? Or were you just too stunned by the look and the aesthetic that you couldn't really go deeper? Because even though Pitchfork thinks they're like this super deep, pretentious indie BS, they fell deep into the trap of perceiving Lana a specific way that's not ultimately who she entirely is. again with Nicki Minaj. Nicki is a true rapper. She's a true MC. From her mixtape days to today. What got the masses hooked to her? Pink wig, thick ass, give them whiplash. I'm gonna wear these crazy outfits. It's gonna get you talking about me. It's going to get you to notice me. Same for Lady Gaga, same for Madonna. These people are talented singers, songwriters, rappers, and musicians, and poets. But they had to hook you in a way that is easily digestible to the public. And ultimately, that does change how people perceive them. And a great example of this is Kim Kardashian and Pamela Anderson. Kim Kardashian will always be known as a reality TV star that became famous because of the tape. Is always going to be in the background of anything she does, any of the advocacy work she has done, any of the activism, her film work, her photography, her photo shoot, her writing. Public perception of her is the lady that started the BBL trend, the lady that did the tape, and reality TV mogul. Even though there is so much more to Kim K than all of those things, like mother, entrepreneur, businesswoman, actress, activist, lawyer. Like, there's so much to her. But the public will take, again, the easily digestible parts of you and make that you. And it's really hard to stray from that path. Same for Pamela Anderson. She will always be known as a blonde bombshell from Baywatch that dated Tommy Lee. And that's really messed up to say because there are so many facets of Pamela Anderson. I'm signed to her newsletter where I get her journal entries and her writing. Pamela Anderson is a writer. She's a poet. She's not known for that. When you think of Pamela Anderson, you're not like, that's a writer, that's a poet. No, that is a major part of her, and her personality is her work with PETA, her advocacy for animals, being an author, being a writer, being a poet. But people ultimately don't perceive her that way, even though that is a part of her personality. The public has given her a title, and even if she were to write the next great American novel, even though she's not American, even if she were to write that, when you see her, people will think, oh yeah, Baywatch, Pamela Anderson, Tommy Lee. And that's unfortunate, you know. And Marilyn Monroe is probably one of the most classic tales of the public perception being different from who they are. Society will always view Marilyn Monroe as the 1950s blonde bombshell, the queen of old Hollywood and old Hollywood glamour, the ultimate siren, the ultimate sex symbol. Even though she was rumored, I believe, to be asexual, she wasn't this super sexual person. She loved to read books. She loved to write. She was very thoughtful, very soft. She was very smart and articulate and wanted to be known as a serious actress. But the public has given her this title, perceiving her in this one way, and she will always be known for that. That is her legacy. The other things that I've mentioned, you say Marilyn Monroe to like a random person on the street, they're not going to be like, oh yes, she was such an amazing writer. That's not the first thing at all. The way this ties into me is the perception you guys have. And I'm coming to terms with the fact that I may never be seen as a serious poet or a serious writer or a serious artist. And at first it really hurt me and it made me sad. I was like, you know what? Like, I do my poetry videos, but the things that go viral, the things that are successful for me on social media has nothing to do with my poetry. And you know what? That's okay. Poetry and writing, that will always be something I do. And not everything that I do and enjoy and love or even passionate about has to be something that is what I'm known for. I can be known for the girl that you guys like to see my rant and you like to hear me talk about stuff. There's even things I would rant about that I don't rant about online, but I rant about them with my close girlfriend that you guys don't know about. There's just so many facets to me, so many different facets to all of us. I have to just roll with it. I have to roll with the punches. if everyone is liking something about me, if people like my rants or my vlogs for whatever reason, I find my life boring, but people like my vlogs, they like my commentary on certain things and music and stuff. If that's something that people enjoy, I may dive deeper into that part of my personality as a way to hook people in. And once I get to a certain point, you know, maybe there'll be more poetry videos or showcasing more. But I'm also coming to terms with I may never be seen as a serious poet or author because I've done videos like how to be a bimbo. You know? And it's messed up to say, but it's the truth and it's cold, hard facts of life. The way most of you guys met me on this channel and the way most people met me on TikTok or Instagram was because of modeling or here on YouTube, Trashy Y2K, to bimbo, to even like vintage makeup. People still have me in that like vintage community where my style is not vintage at all. I mean, I can't say I've been super 1960s in probably like since 2020. I don't dress 60s or 70s anymore. I dress actually pretty modern. I'm just me. I'm just Penny. All the facets of me. I'm just me. And I'm, for the first time in a long time, if not probably ever, I am coming to terms with just being me and knowing that there's no way that the entire world could know every part of me and see me for every single thing that I love and do. And maybe one day I'll do a complete rebrand and I'll go full poetry and I'll only post poetry videos on like a separate channel or something. But as for now, I'm happy with where I'm at and I don't really have control over how people perceive me. None of us do. But what we do have control over is not caring how people perceive you and knowing that all that matters is how you see yourself. I see myself as a serious poet, writer, and creative. And it doesn't matter if I'm not in that space. It doesn't matter if social media doesn't have me in that niche of content creators and personalities that are seen as serious artists, poets, writers, photographers, painters, or whatever. If people don't see me that way and I'm not in that group of people, that's fine. I perceive myself as an artist. I know I am an artist. I am a writer. Ultimately, that's all that matters. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Leave in the comments below your thoughts on perception and being perceived. I know none of us want to be perceived because it is kind of freaky when you think about how people see you, because we see ourselves one way and oftentimes it's not how everyone sees us. So leave in the comments below how you feel you're perceived and how you perceive yourself. I would love to know. If you like this video, join a Trash Jar family, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah! Toodles! Bye!